Hey everyone, I'm going to do a flash flow here. I was supposed to teach a physical at noon, but was canceled because of the smoke here in San Francisco. We're inside, I've got my air filter, and I need to do some yoga, and I thought some of you all might want to practice with me. Not a long class, just stretching it out. So feel free to join me in about, say, we'll start at noon, 2 or 3 minutes. We'll see you real soon. Yeah, come on over.
Dynamics on filling out a survey.
All right, well, let's get going. I invite you to find the top of your yoga space if you're practicing with a mat. Awesome. If not, no worries. Nice soft carpet here. So I like to practice without a mat on this particular carpet. From your feet, finding your legs. From your legs, finding your spine. Relax shoulders tall through the crown. I'll invite you to tuck your chin ever so slightly as we bring our hands to our heart. A light press of your thumb against your sternum as we line up each finger. And starting our practice, just watching as we breathe, watching our breath flow in and our breath flow out. From this place of just watching your breath, would you like to join, Kath? Would you set yourself up over there? Awesome. So I usually cue that deeper, fuller breath. We do have the air filter here, but I can still smell smoke. So I'm going to cue it a little bit differently this afternoon. From this place of watching your breath, just moving towards an even breath. It doesn't have to necessarily have to be any deeper, but just trying to find an equanimity between the inhale and the exhale. And that's called Samarvriti, same wave. And as we find Samarvriti, I invite you to find it in all aspects, not just the duration of the breath, but the length of the breath, where the air goes, where it doesn't go. Trying to match the inhale up with the exhale in every aspect. And just because there is that smell of smoke in the air and I can feel it in the back of my throat, I'm not going to cue the Ujjayi breath. So we're just kind of keep the base of the throat relaxed as we work our Samarvriti. I will cue Jiva Bandha, tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind the teeth, relaxing your jaw and connecting front and back planes of your body. And lips closed. A slight, slight smile. And Mona Lisa smile. Despite all the craziness, we can at least find a sense of peace, an oasis within ourselves, and that starts with our smile. From here, hands by our side. Warming up our shoulders. We'll take it slow, slow, slow. We want to keep our breath easeful. Arms up and over the head. And arms down. Breathing arms up. Exhaling arms down. Breathing arms up. Exhaling arms down. And let's do 3 more. Breathing arms up. Exhaling arms down. Last 2, breathing arms up. Exhaling arms down. 1 more time. Breathing arms up. Exhaling arms down. From here, let's bring hands onto our shoulders. Just rolling one shoulder front and then the other. Just keeping the breath free and easy. And then taking those asymmetrical shoulder rolls the other way. Now relaxing those shoulders, and we go a little wider with our feet. I'll invite you to bring hands to the back of the hips, fingers face down, and just circling your hips. Say 5 or 6 times. Many of us have been sitting in front of our computers or in front of our phones, just releasing any tension in the hips that come from that big body crease between upper and lower body. And then taking those circles the other way. Feels so good to move. And then coming back center. Let's move through Surya Namaskar A. And I'm not going to do the push-ups this afternoon. If you have vinyasa and you want to get your heart rate up and you want to breathe a little heavier, certainly feeling free to do chaturanga into up dog or cobra and then back to down dog. I'm just going to stretch it back to down dog, and I'm going to do 3 here. So, breathing arms up and over the head. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding. Now at this point, you make a choice. Either finding your vinyasa or just finding your down dog and holding. As we hold this down dog, I'll invite you to walk your dog. As we bend one leg deeply, grounding down through the opposite heel. And then finding that stretch on the second side. And then freely moving back and forth between the sides. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be fast. Just let it be your dog. Might be a small dog, might be a big dog, an old dog, a young dog. From this place of movement, moving back towards stillness, long arms, long legs, long spine, deep forward. And then on the tail end of our breath, looking between the hands and mindfully making your way front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, fold. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one just like the first. Again, I'm not doing the vinyasas myself. Feel free to throw them in if that's your game. I injured my shoulder a few weeks ago. It's still not 100%. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, back to down dog, as you will. And just holding, if you choose to stretch it straight back. Maybe cycling through vinyasa, let it be your practice. Another nice choice, as always, that child's pose that runs back to the heels. Whether you're in child's pose or down dog, 2 great places to breathe into your breath. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay there. From down dog shape, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Careful through the sigh. Tail end of your breath, looking between your hands as you mindfully make your way front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding. On the inhale, riding the breath up. On the exhale, standing tall. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar, right? Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And breathing out. Back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back to down dog, or maybe choosing a child's pose instead. Always finding that balance between your effort and your release. From down dog, I'll invite you to bend the knees ever so slightly to lift the tailbone a little higher, and then looking between the hands as we mindfully make our way front. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, fold. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll allow you to bring hands to heart as we come back to our breath. Watching as it flows in and out. And working that Samavriti. So equal inhale, equal exhale in all aspects. From here, let's move towards Surya Namaskar B. Starts with the chair pose, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, knees over toes, hands over head, inhale. Adding an extra breath, exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, I'll invite you to find a little half back bend at the top, open heart, open throat, glutes engaged. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length, and then breathing out, back to down dog, as you will. From down dog, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. I'll invite you to find a three-legged dog, right leg high on the left toes. And then looking between the hands, bringing that right foot on through, spinning the back heel down, letting your breath bring you into warrior one, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge as we spin back heel up, and then back to down dog as you. Second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through. Landing it lightly as we spin the back heel down. Arms up and over the head for our warrior one. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog. And and again. I'm going to invite you to try not to get your breath rate up too high here. And you might choose that child's pose. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay there. From down dog shape, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding. On the inhale, back to our chair pose. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine, hands by our side. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar B. We'll add a hip opening sequence into the mix. How are you doing?
I'm good. Nature's calling.
Oh, okay. Feel free to leave at any point. Let's do the Surya Namaskar B, and then you could be done with your yoga or not, really up to you. And that's the beauty of a yoga practice. It's all about you. Inhaling into our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. From down dog, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky, high on the left toes. Without overly disturbing the shoulders, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that top leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, bringing that right foot on through, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head for our warrior one. And then on the exhale, God bless you, or excuse you, finding low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you From down dog, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Stacking the hips, bending that top leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, bringing that left foot up, spinning the back heel down, back leg long, back leg strong, inhaling up. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge, and from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Coming back to an even, and watching that breath as it flows in and out. Back to that Samarvriti. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. On the inhale, back to our chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine, hands by your side. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, either keeping a light press of the palms as your weight gathers in your feet, or adding an isometric engagement as you press those palms together, elbows wide, shoulders engaged. I'll invite you to tuck tail and chin as we connect with the strength of our side. And then hands by our side. From here, let's step our feet a little bit wider. And just very slowly today, again, we want to keep our breath rate controlled. As you bring the arms out to the side, on the exhale, crossing the hands in front. Can I give those wrists a little flick? And then switching across. And we're halfway done. Another couple to go each way. One more each side. And then back up. And hands by our side. Hands find the hips. We'll angle out the right foot just a tad, if that's appropriate for your hip. We'll shift weight under right foot as we move towards standing half lotus, bringing our ankle on top of our thigh as we sit down in an invisible chair. Either keeping hands on hips or hands find the heart. Either keeping hands at heart or stretching those hands high. High hands come back to the heart. Hard hands come back to the hips. We lift this left thigh high, the toe points down for the flamenco. Now leaning a little bit forward as we go long through the leg. Lifting that leg just a little higher. And then sweeping that back foot, or that foot on back, as we find our warrior one prep, hands stay on the hips. We can steer the hips front, back hip front, front hip back. Hands find the shoulders, relaxing those shoulders. Finding a clasp of the fingers, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat. And then stretching those hands high to the sky. With the breath gathering up the energy. Exhaling, offering out. And let's just do this a few times, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. We've got 3 more to go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out and holding. As we bring the elbows back, the hands come with. I'll invite you to wiggle those fingers. From here, turning 1 into 2 as hands find the heart. We open up the hips. We kick the back foot in for heel to arch alignment. As we find one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. From here, painting rainbows. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more to go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out. Finding your warrior 2. And then I'll invite you to windmill the arms as we come back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog. As you will. And holding for 4 or 5 long slow breaths.
Samavriti. From this place, looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way front. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, fold. On the inhale, back to our chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart as we come back to our breath, either keeping that light press of your palms as your weight gathers in your feet, or adding that isometric engagement as we connect with the strength of our stomach. And then hands by our side. So feet hip width apart. On the inhale, we'll bring arms out to the side. On the exhale, we'll pass hands through stomach, and you might give those wrists a little flick, and that other side. And we'll do 6. Halfway done. 2 more each way. 1 more each side. And then back up, and hands by our side. From here, we'll shift weight to the left. Again, if it's appropriate for your hip, you'll angle the left toes out just a tad. Moving towards our standing half lotus, second side, as you bring ankle on top of thigh and sit down in an invisible chair. Hands either stay on hips or hands find the heart. Hands either stay on the heart or we stretch those hands high. High hands become heart hands. Heart hands become hip hands. We straighten the standing leg. We lift ankle off of thigh for the flamingo, toe points down. And either staying here or leaning a little bit forward as we go long through that leg. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then we'll sweep it on through as we find our warrior one prep, classically heel to heel alignment. If that's too tight, go a little bit wider. Finding a length of stance that gives you the stretch your body wants. From here, steering the hips front. From here, steering the shoulders front. From here, finding that other clasp of the fingers, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, and then stretching those hands high. And with the breath, gathering up the energy. On the exhale, offering it out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. We've got 3 more to go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out in. Holding. As we bring the elbows back. The hands come with. Wiggling those fingers. Enjoying the stretch. Turning warrior 1 into warrior 2 as hands find the heart. We open up the hips, narrowing the stance if appropriate, and then one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. From here, painting rainbows. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out, back to our warrior 2. And then I'll suggest a big windmill of the arms as we come back to low lunge, spinning back, heel up. And then one more time this afternoon. Back to down dog as you will. From down dog shape, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth, easy breath. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, looking between the hands as we mindfully make your way front. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, fold. One more time this afternoon, coming back to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll allow you to bring your hands to your heart. Either keeping that light press of the palms as your weight gathers in your feet, or adding that isometric engagement as we press our palms together, elbows wide. And from here, hands by our side. I'll invite you to bring hands on hips as we go wide with the feet. Let's angle the toes out and we'll rock it to half squat as we take it on down. When we get to our half squat, we can bring knees over heels, elbows find the inner thighs, hands find the heart, and allow you to keep rocking that squat from side to side. From this place, let's ground down through the hands and find an all-fours position upon the mat or floor. Let me adjust the camera here so we've got a little more ground perspective. In our all-fours position, exactly. Let's circle those hips. Feels so good. And then taking those hip circles the other way. Now coming back center, chasing or finding a figure eight with those hips as one hip chases the other. And then finding that figure eight with our hips the other way. And then back to center. Let's unfurl the feet, knees nice and wide, finding a child's pose. As we said, sits bones back to the heels. I'll suggest arms in extension as the forehead heavies into the floor. If that's not happening, you could always cross the forearms or find a pair of soft ones. In our child's pose, keeping hips and heels just as they are. I'll allow you to find a side bend as we walk our hands to one side, stretching far hip to far hip. Now walking our hands through center and finding that second side, stretching other hip to other hip. Now walking our hands center, let's walk our hands in as we find a kneeling hero pose, connecting the knees as we sit on our feet, stretching that place where ankle and foot connect. One palm supports the other. If you're pursuing more softness, I'll invite you to have left hand underneath. If you're pursuing more hardness, I'll invite you to bring right hand underneath. So sometimes we need more surrender, more softness. Sometimes we need more effort. And just watching our breath, finding that Samraviti, watching as it flows in and out. From here, let's tuck the toes and sit on our feet as we stretch out that place where toe and foot connect. Again, one palm supports the other. Left underneath if you're looking for more surrender. Right underneath if you're looking for a little more effort, a little more resolve. From here, let's move towards the garland pose, Malasana. As we ground down through the hands, we're going to lift the knees and then separating those knees as we walk our arms into extension between those two knees. Feeling length not just in the spine, but in those inner calves as we press the big toes down and stretch those knees wide. From here, let's walk the hands in and close the knees. I'll invite you to challenge your balance as you bring one hand to the heart and the other hand joins. Now grounding down through the hands as we land those knees lightly, and let's bring our feet off to one side. From here, let's give our knees a little love and consideration. Two relatively straight legs as we massage our kneecaps. We can bring our fingers to the back of the knee. And then massaging the outer edges of the knees. And then massaging the inner edges of the knees. From here, let's find a wide diamond with the legs, the soles are apart. It's called Charasana, named after a Buddhist goddess of compassion. We all need lots of compassion, both for ourselves and for others. So just inviting that compassion into yourself, compassion for the planet, compassion for our situation. And from Charasana, moving towards Kurmasana, any amount, as we feed the hands underneath the calves or the ankles, leading with the heart, keeping neutral spine as long as you can, and then letting the spine round. As we soften the shoulders, taking a few big breaths into back heart. There's a mantra that goes with this shape. I'll say it 3 times. I go deep within to find all that I know. I go deep within to find all that I know. I go deep within to find all that I know. Now tucking the chin, unfeeding the hands as we reclaim tall spine. Let's tighten our diamond a little bit as we connect the soles of the feet. I'll allow you to bring thumbs to the inner arches and then opening the feet up with a bit like a book as we open up our hip. And again, finding a forward fold, leading with the heart, neutral spine, and then letting the spine round as we take a few breaths into back heart. We can recite that same mantra. I go deep within to find all that I know. I go deep within to find all that I know. I go deep within to find all that I know. Now a tuck of the chin as we bring it on up. Let's keep these butterfly feet and let's find a twist to each side as we ground down through a hand. Hand finds a knee. Let an inhale, grow your spine tall, and then finding a twist. Either looking forward off to the side or over that back shoulder. Letting an inhale bring you through center, grounding down through other hand finds other knee. Let an inhale grow your spine tall, and then finding a twist. Letting your inhale bring you through center. We can use our hands to close our knees, keeping the inner thighs relaxed. And let's do a long, slow roll down on your back. Make sure you got some room overhead. We can start from tall spine. We can find C-spine as we slowly roll ourselves down, feeling free to grab the back of the thighs for the assist. When we get down, I'll invite you to find that full body stretch. Arms overhead as we point fingers and toes. And then on the exhale, finding your Shavasana. As you sweep your hands by your sides, widening your thighs, scooting the head back as you flatten the shoulders. Doing whatever else feels right and good for you this afternoon. Initially focusing on the breath, but as we hold this shape, even letting that focus soften, as we take our senses inside for Pratyahara. I'll invite you to move your minds before you move your body. Bringing your attention back to your breath, watching as it flows in. Now moving away from Samarvriti as we lengthen our exhalations, keeping the inhalations the exact same length, in pursuit of a more relaxing, more languorous breath in. Longer, smoother, slower breath. And just keeping back for a few breaths. Now I'll invite you to invite more prana back into your body as we gently wiggle fingers and toes. Now circling wrists and ankles as we invite that prana in towards us. Adding a little shimmy of the shoulders, a little shake of the hips. And now finding Apanasana as we draw one knee at a time in towards our heart. Our hands catch our shins. And just gently massaging your little belly as you draw the knees in. And then let the knees draw out. Either keeping neutral pelvis or finding an anterior and then a posterior tilt. Now finding neutral pelvis, knee staying close, as we gently rock our bodies from side to side. So I crack some ribs on my right side. Traditionally, I would cue a rolling to the right. I personally am going to roll to the left here as I go along to the left arm. Letting that arm serve as a cushion for my head. Just taking a couple long, slow breaths here on the floor. I'll allow you to let one of those breaths just sigh out through your mouth and just soften your shoulders, relaxing your jaw, softening the corners of your eyes. And the neck relaxed, face soft as you press into your hands. I'll invite you to claim a cross-legged sit. Traditionally, right's closer in than left because it has to do with conformity or the arrangement of our internal organs. From an anatomical perspective, though, you might switch that up every so often. Palms on our knees, pulling back with our hands to sit up a little straighter, a little taller. A slight tuck of the chin as we bring our attention back in. Just watching as our breath flows in and out. Again, let it be a light breath. From here, 5 fingers of one hand find the ground, the palm of the other hand faces the sky. As we find our foundation, the ground, we also find our possibility, the sky. Even in these times of craziness, we can still find stillness and balance with it. From here, I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart and bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga. And as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world, the light within me honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing with me in this flash class I was supposed to teach outside, not happening today. Thank you, Kathy, for joining me.
Thank you.
And just an illustration that you don't have to practice yoga for hours and hours to be able to sneak a practice in. And always feeling free to come to my page here. Lots of these classes are up. And also feeling free to practice along with us. There's a certain energy that you get when you're practicing live, whether you're together physically or connected through our screens. Have a nice day. Stay safe. And we will get through this. Namaste.